Pakistan cricket at its best. 1 minute down, next minute up.
Thanks very much, everybody, for joining me once again. Sad Sadiq here for PakPassion, bringing you another exclusive interview. Now, the term legend and all-time great is used commonly in cricket, but the gentleman who I'm interviewing today can only be described as an all-time great and legend. 132 test matches, taking an incredible 519 wickets, 205 ODIs, taking 227 wickets. First bowler to 500 wickets in test cricket. ICC Hall of Fame player, former West Indies captain and selector. He's been the Bangladesh bowling coach, and recently he was the bowling coach for Rawalpindi in the Pakistan Super League. Delighted to be joined by the one and only Courtney Walsh. Could hope you're well?
Yeah, I'm well, thanks very much. How are you?
Yeah, all good, thanks. Absolute pleasure to be speaking with you. I know we've been trying to arrange this interview for a while, but it's I think it's good timing because you've been back in Pakistan. Was it good to be back in Pakistan?
Yeah, it was good to be back in Pakistan. I've not been there for quite some time. I went the last time with the female team during the COVID time or just after COVID. So it was good to be back and be able to move around a little bit.
Whenever I think of you in Pakistan, Coody, I always visualize that picture that I absolutely loved growing up when I was watching Test cricket of you and Malcolm Marshall in your shalwar kameezes there. Beautiful picture.
Yeah, I still have that picture. I think I still have that show somewhere, but I remember that picture. That picture made the rounds. It was a very good picture.
Beautiful picture. And the legend Malcolm Marshall, obviously alongside you as well.
Yeah, but I think for some reason we were so close together at the time, right, that we decided that when we get it, we're going to wear them somewhere. I can't remember what that, man. It was his idea. Let's dress up like Pakistani, and we did it. And the picture was taken, and it just went viral very fast.
You guys look great. The PSL, Coody, obviously your first involvement in the Pakistan Super League. What have you made of the standard of cricket there?
It wasn't a bad standard, you know. The talent in cricket in Pakistan, some of the net bowlers and what we have seen was outstanding. The facilities were good. But for me, it was like an eye-opener. I didn't expect to see so many kids when they said net bowling time, and some from obviously the high performance center, but the net bowlers, you could see potential and class and quality there. So I think that in terms of a talent pool, there's a lot of talented cricketers in Pakistan. I have to say that.
Now, Rawalpindi, you only won one match in the tournament. Disappointed with that, I guess, Coody?
Yeah, very disappointed. I think anybody would be. You sort of go there, you play 10 games and to just win one, lost 9. Not a good reflection. What I would say is that on the field of play, we didn't execute as well as we should have or could have. The first 2 games could have gone either. We actually should have won the first 2 games, in my opinion, and we could have. That didn't happen. You know, in cricket, when you sort of get into the habit of losing, it's sort of stick with you. But the experience was good, but the results wasn't happy with that.
When you analyse your team, Coody, obviously there were some great minds there, yourself, in Zaman ul-Haq. Where do you felt the team went wrong?
I think on the field of play, as I said earlier, execution. I think we planned reasonably well. You know, head coach Justin Kemp was on top of it. As I say, Inzi was with us. Rizwan as a season campaign. So we had good quality people around. Yeah, we had good quality people around. So that was very helpful in terms of the planning and everything. And we had, you know, some good practice sessions. But for some reason, as you know, if you don't hit the ground running and use that form and momentum, it can come back and sort of haunt you in a little way. And I think it did to us. The first 2 games were our sort of games that the first one I thought we were cruising. I mean, and they got something like 85 in 30 balls. You know, we didn't execute, gave that game away as far as I was concerned. And the second game could have gone either way, but I think with momentum, and if we had, you know, held our nerves, we could have won it. This third game, we were completely outplayed. But, I mean, if you get a good start, it shows that the momentum can go with you.
You mentioned Mohammad Rizwan, obviously a seasoned campaigner for Pakistan, a lot of international experience and PSL experience, former captain of Multan Sultans as well. There seemed to be a lot of pressure and a lot of focus on him and his captaincy. What do you make of his captaincy and how he handled himself throughout the tournament?
I think, look, he was under pressure right through. I think when your team is not doing well, everybody's going to look to the leader. He's the captain of the field of play. I know he was under tremendous pressure just being out there, especially when results not going your way. I think he handled it pretty well in terms of keeping his demeanor, didn't sort of get ragged, didn't lose his cool. I have a lot of respect for him for that because I mean sometimes you could lose your cool and snap and thing, but he didn't. He just kept going, kept believing, kept trying, and we're hoping the result would have changed. It didn't, but from a sort of a leadership point of view, he tried to lead from the front as best as he could. We didn't get a lot of stuff the way we would have liked for it to happen. But I think my hat's off to him for how we handle the pressure situations.
I guess luck plays a big part in these tournaments as well. And your team just didn't get much luck, did they? They lost Zaman Khan before the tournament started. And then Naseem Shah, one of your key bowlers, he only managed to play 3 matches.
Yeah, we didn't have any luck. One of the main bowlers that told me they got injured. And then, as I said, in the second game, Shah got injured and he only came back and played 1 and then got injured again. So he didn't play the last game. It was just one of them things. And even on the field of play, a lot of luck didn't go our way. We lost some key moments in the game, but luck could have changed it. But yeah, those injuries didn't help, obviously.
What did you make of Naseem Shah? I mean, obviously we've discussed he only played 3 matches. He's regarded as a superstar in Pakistan. He made a fantastic start to his international career. He's just tailed off a little bit, could he? He's lost a little bit of a yard of pace, it seems.
Yes, he has lost some pace, that's obvious and evident. I think the experience that he has probably would have helped us in terms of being around for one of the dead bowlers with this change of pace and stuff. But he definitely has lost some pace, that's evident. As you say, he's not a young kid anymore. So when you get to that age, it's how you control and how you work out your executions. And I think, unfortunate with the injury, it was hard to judge what he could have done or would have done if he had played more games. But as you're correct in saying that he has tailed off just a little bit.
I guess what the issue nowadays is with young bowlers, they're playing lots of different formats, aren't they? The 3 formats, and then they're playing in T20 leagues. There's a lot of money in those leagues as well. And this is what we're finding a lot in Pakistan, where our bowlers start off at close to 150 kph, then they drop down, then they're bowling mid 130s, could he?
Yeah, they need to monitor. That's one thing that I think you have to put into place. If you want them to bowl quick, you have to look after them to make sure that they don't get watered down with too much cricket and not just look at the short-term picture of the returns. Yes, everybody wants to play to earn, but the longer you play, the more you can earn, or the more you earn into always stay good. So you have to look after yourself, look after your body, and just don't go chasing everything.
I mean, I remember when you played, you rarely missed a match, whether that was for Gloucestershire or West Indies. I mean, obviously, back then, there wasn't the T20 format. These days, these guys are trying to play here, there, and everywhere, aren't they? And I guess, as you say, it's difficult to sort of do that balancing act of trying to play as much as you can and then resting.
Yeah, it's striking the right balance. I think if you can strike the right balance and look at, the amount that you think you need to play just to make sure that you're okay and give yourself enough recovery time so you stay sharp. You have to be true to the body as well. If you try to get everything in place, you run the risk of getting injured. You run the risk of being burnt out a little bit quicker than you should. So I think the key is knowing your body, staying fit, and just choose wisely. As you say, when I played a lot of county games. Didn't do a lot of practice in between some of the games because of how you look after yourself. Then there's test series. So it's how you pace yourself to try to be fresh for as long as you can.
And Mohammad Amir, what did you make of him? I know he put something out on social media where he said he was very disappointed with his performance in the tournament and he wasn't satisfied with his performance and he wants to do better next year for Rawalpindi.
I forgot the name that you mentioned.
Mohammad Amir.
Okay, yeah. No, he would have been disappointed. I mean, I think when I look back at it in hindsight, I don't know if he came into the tournament as sharp as he could have or should have, and that's probably where I think he probably figured he let himself down on the guy. But he's a tremendous cricketer, a tremendous bowler. He's always one of our most experienced seamers, so to speak, and with Shah not being there, I know a lot of responsibility was on him. And he kept improving and doing well as we progressed. Had some talks and plans and whatever, and he made the adjustments to a lot of those stuff. So I think with him, his experience was very, very good for us. He has lost some pace as well, as you know, but he's a clever thinking bowler and he will try things. And I think it's just for him to be clear now into how he wants to execute. And he was getting that done as we progress in the series, as I said. So I'm sure that once he's around, he's very helpful as well to the younger bowlers. So it's good to have him and to be able to work with him.
It's interesting these days, Cuddy, as a former Bangladesh coach yourself, guys like they're producing some decent paces now, aren't they? The likes of Naheed Rana, who's bowling at close to 150 kph.
Yeah, very good to see. I mean, it was like pulling teeth to try to get to play a couple of fast bowlers when I was there. Eventually the message got through, and I think the coaching staff was looking at the future test tours and stuff. So we were looking ahead at time, and we did some good scouting, got us a few other guys, and then they started to pick 2 or 3 seamers. So to see Bangladesh now having Rana, Taskin, Fizzy still, Khalid, and a number of seamers around, Chariful, who was also in the PSL. It's just very good to see and very heartening. And, but every time I see them, I take my cap off of them because, coming from a spin-dominated country to now be up there and, producing some quality fast bowlers was very, very good to see.
Any Pakistani paces impress you at the PSL, Cuddy?
Yeah, there was a few. I want to see if I can remember all the names. There was a Khalil, Raza, I think it was Ali Raza. We had a Raza whole in our squad. That's how in the nets. He's got some pace. He needs a bit of working, and I've left some information. I'll try to get someone to look after him because if he can be managed and monitored at his age of 21, I think he's got raw pace. If we can look after him, that would be good. There was Ishmael as well. There was a few other guys that I saw that was very, very good in the PSL as youngsters with pace, genuine pace as well, decent control. I think if they can get more consistency in what they're doing, the future will be bright for them. But there was also, I'll go back, there was 2 kids that bowled into the nets, one in Lahore and one, I don't remember the names, one in Lahore and one in Karachi. Pace, control, quality, execution was spot on. In fact, we were trying to get one of them to come in when Shah got injured to see if he could get him to come on and be, a setup. He was that good. He had pace. When you says to him, give me a couple of Yorkers, give me a hit the hard, whatever you asked him to do, he executed well.
Were you impressed with Hunain Shah the other day, Cuddy, when he restricted the opposition to just 2 runs in that final over?
Yeah, I was impressed with that. That was good quality stuff. Good execution.
And looking at the T20 format, Cuddy, Murulidharan recently said that even him and Shane Warne would have got smashed around in these T20 leagues like the IPL, etc. I mean, what do you make of this 50, 60-metre boundaries? And, it's all about 4s and 6s. You must be glad you didn't play T20 cricket.
We don't want to be playing now with them short boundaries. I see some of the top edges going for 6 and the bats the guys are using and the boundaries are in. It's tailored for batting. It's tailored for the batsman. It's a batsman's game, T20, because the crowd wants to see boundaries. They want to see 4s and 6s. That's excite them. But they also want to see a good bowler sort of dominated. But I think the balance is more in favor of the batters because the boundaries are so short. So a lot of bowlers will get tapped. What it will do for me, I would think, is the challenge is to try to execute to perfection because that's the only way you're going to survive. But you're still going to travel at some point in time.
I can't imagine too many batters charging towards you when you were bowling, though, Cuddy.
No, the charge would be on back in the days. A young fellow was, if you're charging me, I'm going to charge you back.
And Cuddy, I mean, back in the day, I remember Pakistan and West Indies being the 2 top teams, when the likes of yourself played and, some great series between the 2 teams, both in Pakistan and in the Caribbean. It's sad to see, really, that, Pakistan lies 6th in the ICC Test rankings and West Indies lie 8th. It's just been a deterioration in the Test format for both countries, hasn't it?
It has. And as I said, it's sad to see. And when you look at the talent in both countries, because I've seen talent here in the West Indies, I've seen a lot of youngsters who's very talented. And as I said, I just came back from Pakistan. And you look at the talent that is there. More needs to be done to get those talent to come up to the top of the table. I don't know if it's going to be having them in camps, if it's coaching them, helping them, and the structure has to be set up differently. But I would love to see a structure here in the West Indies for growth, where you have the high performance center that we have, but to have the youngsters playing some more cricket and getting that experience and the exposure, and playing against good opposition. So I mean, probably just off the top of my head, maybe if West Indies and Pakistan could create some A teams to tour and play against each other with the talent that we have, might be a step in that direction. Then you try to get an India A team involved or England, and play some 18 cricket with the talent so the guys get exposure and play in different conditions. I think that would help and go a long way. But it would have to be good competitive cricket so that they can improve.
I think we need guys like you at the National High Performance Centre in Lahore, Cuddy.
If they call upon me, I'll go and help. Anywhere that I can go and help with my cricket and to spread the game and to try to improve players, I'm happy to do so.
Focusing on West Indies, though, where is it going wrong for them? Because every now and then in Test cricket, we see a brilliant performance from them. You know, they're more competitive in the white ball formats. Of course, they've won T20 World Cups, etc. But in Test cricket, it just seems to be sort of a decline and a couple of good matches, and then, you know, there's a bad run as well.
Yeah, I think we lack the, I would say we lack the consistency in Test cricket. And that's evidence. As you say, every now and then we put on a good performance. I thought we were doing pretty well. We won a test in Pakistan after so long. We did well against Australia. And then, you know, there was a lot of changes with the staff and stuff, and players and personnel. I think we need to try to identify a core test group core, do some work with them, and to try and get that level of consistency that everybody know the roles up there and how they're gonna go about it and just plan well. You know, I've been just following it and watching it a little bit, and I'm hoping that the consistency level can go up, that we can see players, you know, putting their hands up, and everybody wants to do well and wants to play Test cricket. I think one of the biggest questions you get people asking is, are these guys interested in playing Test cricket at the, you know, consistently? And from what I've seen, that a few of the guys have come back and they're playing. So you want them now to start performing and to start to raise the level and raise the bar. So I'm watching it with close eyes. But yeah, we need to be more consistent at the Test level.
I guess it's the same situation in Pakistan where there's a doubt that players want to play in first-class cricket and they'd rather focus on the easy option of just bowling 4 overs and getting a lot of money in T20s.
Yeah, I mean, you can't fault too much for that, but you want them to be playing the proper. I mean, for me, Test cricket is the ultimate. So I might be sounding one-track minded or whatever. But if you play Test cricket and you're doing well at that, you can sort of divulge into other games or, you know, the shorter version of the game and still hold your own. Now, for Test cricket, that gives you a test of character, a test of everything. So for me, that's the ultimate. But yeah, the 4 overs is easy for anybody to go down bowl, and they're playing a 20-over game. It's a shorter version, so a lot of cricketers are going to be, you know, jumping towards that. And as you say, the returns is exceptional. Well, maybe if they raise the bar and put a little bit more perks in Test cricket and a little bit more payments for the players, you might see people wanted to play it as well with the same hunger. But the shorter version is like an easy way out where, you know, you turn up on the day, franchises around the world, and if you can bowl 4 overs pretty good, you're going to be well paid. And if you can smack it out the park, you're going to be well paid as well. So a lot of people are sort of hiding towards that because it's a bigger payday and you can't hide from it.
I know, speaking to some of the Rawalpindi guys, they thoroughly enjoyed your company and, you know, the advice that you offered them and the guidance and the coaching. Is the PSL on the radar to come back again and future work there?
It was a tremendous experience for me. I think even though the result didn't show well, the owners were very good to us, the management team that was there, the people that I interact with, the liaison officers, everybody in the Pindiz family was very, very good in terms of how they looked after us while we were there. And it was an opportunity. I learned so much about people. It was unbelievable in terms of most of the time you go out, you know, I learned a lot with the cricket and stuff, but this trip for me was an amazing experience in just learning about people and personnel and how people can show their love and their care in different ways and things. And I would love if the opportunity comes up again to be back in the PSL because I really enjoyed it. Didn't enjoy the results, obviously, but I enjoy just the camaraderie, being around the coaches, being around the players, and just even with the opposition as well. All that was very good. So if the opportunity presents itself, I'd love to be back because I thoroughly enjoyed the experience that I had there.
And finally, Cuddy, what are the upcoming plans now? Feet up, a bit of a rest, and then what are the future projects for you?
I'm going to be heading up to the UK for the summer to do a couple of stuff. There are a couple of events myself and Courtney will be passing to be doing up there with Lashins. And then I head back to Zimbabwe sometime in August to take up a deal with them to do some coaching there.
Fantastic. Really appreciate your time, Cuddy, and it was an absolute pleasure to see you at the PSL. Thoroughly enjoyed watching you working with Rawalpindi's, and hopefully you'll be back in Pakistan working in the PSL in future, and wish you all the best. in your upcoming projects.
Thank you very much. It was a tremendous experience, and I'm hoping that I get a chance to go back. I really enjoyed it, and it was good to be there. Good to have a chat with you. And as I pick up your accent, I'll just say, "Why, man?"
Yeah, you picked it up quickly, Cuddy. You're good with the accents.
I was up northeast for a while. I played at Tyndale.
All right, yeah. It's up in Durham, eh?
Up in Newcastle side, up in Durham, a little town called Exham.
Yeah, Hexham, yeah. Always cold up there, Cuddy. Not like the Caribbean.
All right.
Thanks, mate. Thank you very much.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.